Hey guys, what's going on? Mcoc here, and we have war number 1 of season 39 underway. This is the new-ish Unsteady Ground Global, and we have debuff Detox as an attack tactic to counter it. And the champs I'm using today are Overseer, Sim Supreme, and Warlock. Sim Supreme and Overseer are both tactic champions, so it's going to be fun using these characters this season. We're going up path 2 in section 1. And to start, we have Medusa on the first node here. And to be pretty honest, this fight is a nothing fight. This is just something here to split the path. So you need a counter to Medusa just so it's not like an insanely long fight. And then you also need someone for Rintra. So, I mean, it's smart to split the path like that, but Medusa here with the proper counter is really not that big of a deal. You can use Hood, you can use Sim Supreme, you can use Tigra. You have tons of options right now in this attack tactic pool. So this fight is pretty much over with, and we're just gonna let Medusa bleed out. 4 out of 5 deep wounds is plenty enough for Sim Supreme. And yeah, next up we're gonna have Rintra on the second node of path 2. This one's a little bit scarier because it's basically combat, or it is combat deja vu, but placebo. So if you do the same attack twice in a row, you gain a placebo buff, and this could fuel Rintra's power via his signature ability, as well as MD if the buff sticks through. So we're using Overseer here, and the goal here is light, medium, and then punish his special 1 with our heavy attack when we can. It's really not a huge deal if you let a placebo get on you. It's honestly fine because it ramps Overseer a little bit faster. So right there we got a placebo on us. It's not a big deal. Once it falls off, if they're running higher Mystic Dispersion, it'll shoot them up closer to more bars of power or whatever, and that will ramp Overseer's Gamma a lot faster. So really not a big deal if these buffs get on you, but you don't want like 6 of them on you at once, especially against someone running 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion, because that just becomes scary. So yeah, this fight is just going to be a slower fight. It's a safe fight. I would assign it to anyone else. It's just you have to understand how Rintra works, and you have to know how to counter them. And if you do, and you know both those things, then it's a pretty straightforward fight. So right here, we're just trying to get the special 1 out of Rintra. We punish it with our heavy attack, and we're getting really close to wanting to throw the special 3, and we do it here. And, you know, I love this animation. This is where we got the screenshot for the thumbnail. Comment below how your guys' first war went. I normally don't like ask stuff like that, but I just want to know how your guys' first war went with this tactic, or if you guys are playing lower tiers with the newer tactic that they just added. Let me know how that's going for you guys, but this fight is pretty much over with now once we drop that special 3. So yeah, next up we have Mephisto on node 20, and we are using Warlock here. This fight, with the proper boosts and a rank 4 Warlock, is a very straightforward fight, but I've seen it get almost messed up with a rank 3 Warlock, and it's kind of sketchy with a rank 3 Warlock. So it also helped that this Mephisto was rank 3, so it's a rank 4 Warlock versus a rank 3 Defender, so it's always going to be easier that way. But just parry a bunch to build up your infection, and then you can just use that to also build up your power via combat power rate. And then you want to trigger Masochism before launching the special 2. So our infections were preventing it from happening, but now right here we parry, it goes through, and then now we just bait a heavy attack. We're going to intercept with our special 2 there. And yeah, see how much health is gone. And we just keep looping that now that we got into that rotation. And the next special 2 should sort him out, and it's a pretty straightforward fight. Just gotta be careful and, you know, pay attention to the nodes. You don't want to let Mephisto get any passive furies from strike counter fury. But next up we have Ebony Maw on node 22. This is hazard shift, incinerate, and shock, aggression, prowess, and insult to injury, as well as Ebony Maw being a tactic defender. So this is just like not a good fight at all. And when Mike and I were assigning, we just like couldn't figure out who to use here. And then Mike was just like, you know, Overseer would probably work here if you slow played it. And I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'll take it. You know, I'm comfortable with Overseer, and I'm probably going to be pushing him to his limits this whole season with this attack tactic. This is the first time he's been in the attack tactic pool, and I've been using him since like season 30, I think. So 9 seasons of war, and I've just been consistently using him. So it's the first time he's getting buffed by a tactic, and I'm just going to enjoy it to the fullest. And he's going to be my workhorse like he has been for like the past 4 seasons. But the issue is slow playing here. If you look at Ebony Maw's prowess, he's at 13 prowess when he launches his special 2, and I block it all. I'm not dexing that in war, because if I get clipped and the degen gets me, that's going to be some nasty ass degen, and it'll probably kill me. So I'd rather block it. And you know, it's not the greatest fight, if we're being honest, but you know, it works. It's just, I don't know if I would assign this to anybody else other than myself, the specific matchup here. I really don't know who else I'd assign here, though. It's just, this fight is just like not good at all. It went fine other than the special 2 into the block, but it's just like, I don't know who else would be great there. So, I don't know. It was an interesting fight for sure. But next up, we have a very tame fight. This is a very easy assignment. I would assign anyone this fight with Overseer this season. It's Sorcerer Supreme on node 23. This has the root. If you don't if you don't make contact with them, like actually strike them for 6 seconds, you get rooted. It's scared stiff, but it's a debuff, so the tactic will just remove it. Like the attack tactic will purify the debuff or cleanse the debuff. So like you really never have to worry about root so long as you're actually dexing and just blocking things. So like right here, the root goes bye-bye. It activates and then it goes bye-bye. So this fight's really straightforward. You just really have to pay attention to Mystic Dispersion, especially if they're running 5 out of 5, because every time you dex, you're going to be you know, giving them all kinds of power. And then there's also the special 2 bias. I can't remember the node. It's power focus 2, that's what it is. Not special 2 bias, but their combat power rates increase while below 2 bars of power and then decrease while above. But the thing with Sorcerer Supreme is that she has passive power gain over time, so she's still going to be gaining power after her special 2, and especially with Mystic Dispersion, you just have to be careful. It's just, you know, common practice when using anyone with buffs against Mystic characters. But right here, we kind of just full send it, and it works out. So, Sorcerer Supreme down, and next up we have Human Torch on node 25, I think this is. Prowess build-up unblockable, Power Snack, and then Stung once, twice shy or something like that. It's the Power Sting node. I can't talk. Power Sting node. But again, Overseer being an attack tactic champion, the Power Sting debuffs that you get placed on you will like fall off. So you don't really have to worry about them much. And then they also just like do no damage. So it's really not that big of a deal if you launch a special attack while you have the Power Sting active. It'll take away like 5% health at most. So I don't think it's that big of an issue. But one thing you could do if you ever get debuffs on you that you don't want, just dex 5 times or parry 5 times. Dex 6 times, I mean, or parry 6 times. And then you will gain the debuff immunity. And you don't have to worry about debuffs for like 5 seconds. And it'll shrug off all active debuffs on you. So it's a really well designed tactic in my opinion. It really opens up a lot more characters you can use for certain things. But next up we have path 5 in section 2. So this is the intercept lane. It's ebb and flow intercept. Certain nodes are on the other ones like Mighty Charge, but this one has Sadist. We're going against Nova here, and we're using Symbiote Supreme. This fight is insanely straightforward. Symbiote Supreme starts the fight by nullifying all active buffs on the opponent, and this will allow us to get an easy opening for our intercept so long as Nova plays into us. He does there. We have 5 staggers, which is awesome, and it's just going to stagger the Fury buff that comes back again, which will allow us to intercept when we need to. Full dex the special 2, and then we get dexed by Nova somehow, and we drop our special 3. I really don't know how he decks me there, but it's whatever. Once we drop our special 3 of the Symbiote Supreme in most fights, the fight's over with. But you'll see later on that That's not always the case, but right here we drop special 2 and it just deals a lot of damage. One last special 3 and it's over with. So Sorcerer Supreme is going to be amazing this season. Definitely going to crutch on him a little bit. So yeah, that was a very straightforward fight. Next up we have Domino on the second node. This is Ebb and Flow Intercept, and then it also has Mighty Charge. So this is a pretty straightforward fight with Warlock here, but you just got to remember that Domino has negative 15% AAR at all times. So like, don't try to dex special 1 because you get hit by it. Right there, I was trying to get an intercept in, but it didn't happen. But Tech Champs can't go unlucky, but she always has that aura, AAR aura, or whatever you want to call it. So you just got to be careful about certain things. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward fight once you actually get going. But Domino will do Domino things, and just it's annoying, but you just got to deal with it. So right there we get a nice little intercept, and we're gonna just try to get one more special 2 in to finish the fight. So that is gonna be my segue into this next fight. But I do want to say, like, if you guys enjoy these videos, just all you gotta do is hit the like button, hit that sub button. I know not all you guys watch them all the way through, and that's fine, but for those who do, I try to cut out as much like useless crap as there is. So like, I try to skip the loading screens. I try to fast forward special 3s if it's just a long fight where I keep spamming special 3s. So that's my way of like thanking you guys who watch the videos all the way through. But yeah. Next up we have Sasquatch on node 39, I believe this is. So it is the same nodes as the last node, but there's crumbling armor as well. This is another fight with Overseer that I think I would assign other people who, are okay with Overseer, but you like have to be very careful with this fight, because if Sasquatch does not play into you and you don't get intercepts, you will have a very hard time closing this fight out. You guys will see how close that can be at the end of this fight. And if you guys look back at a couple of my videos from last season, I can't remember which one it was, I almost timed out to this exact fight with Overseer versus Sasquatch. So it isn't the easiest fight on the planet. It's not a cakewalk, but if Sasquatch plays into you, it's a very straightforward fight. So you just got to be careful. You always need to go for light intercepts. Don't go for medium, because the opponent will play into the light intercept more. Right there, I get lucky that he does not punish me for tickling him like that. But right here, we're in a good spot. Drop the special 2, and then we try to go for an intercept. And right there, if he does that the whole time, we will not be able to take him down. But we luckily got that intercept, and we got him down. So yeah, that fight always scares me a little bit, but it can go fine like it did there, and then it could also go horribly. But the last fight of the war is like my least favorite fight of the war, other than the Ebony Maw one. It's not Null on node 49, and this fight sucks. You could really stretch the debuff detox champions out like the way I'm doing here, but man, it can be rough if like things don't go well, especially against these defense tactic champions like Null, Terax, Ebony Maw. Like those champs, they can be really rough. So yeah, this is just going to be a really interesting fight here. I speed through every single special 3 times 2. I think we have like 4 special 3s in this fight. This is just like not something I enjoy doing, because the fight is dance around until you get your special 3, throw the special 3, and then dance around until you get your next special 3. It's not fun in my opinion at all. But we make do with what we have to do, and it's just like we'll do what we need to do, I guess. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, this is not a great fight for me, at least in my opinion. I mean, it's safe, but like one mistake and you're screwed. That's like my least favorite kind of fight. Like if I screw up here and eat like a 5-hit combo from Null, I'm dead. And this is where having Sim Supreme at rank 4 really helps with the increased health pool, increased attack. Just makes this fight a little bit faster. You guys will see here, I get mad at Null because he drops the special 1 while I'm blocking, and this was my biggest fear, was that he would corrupt me and I would go into reverse controls, and then he drops another special 1. So like I panic here, drop the special 2 while that first encroaching corruption is, you know, ticking down, and I got really lucky there that it worked. And then this special 1 here, I timed it perfectly, and we don't have to deal with the reverse controls now. So now we just do the same thing, dance around till we get our special 3, and then keep that loop going. If we get our special 2 while we're in the set fangs mode, we'll drop the special 2 then, because that will armor break the opponent, and with our 200% power back boost, it can give us a lot of power back, so we can cycle those. That's kind of how I envisioned this fight going, was just, you know, loop specials, but we weren't dealing enough damage off our special 3s to get super high. And then if we strike into him without being completely debuff immune, we'll just glance on everything. So it's just really interesting. So like right here, you can drop the special 2 there. It's going to deal a lot of damage. That's fine. But like it's this fight was interesting. I definitely did not enjoy it because it was just a long fight, and I'm not a fan of long fights personally. I know some people are fine with them as long as they're safe, and this one is kind of safe, but it's just like, it's a long fight, and like one slip up and you're dead, especially here where I'm at 50% health. But yeah, Null drops a special 1 here. I don't care because he's so low on health, but the bleed debuff's just going to do their work. I'm going to drop the special 1 here, hit his block, and he's dead. So 10 fights assigned, 10 fights down, and I don't know the score of the war right now. Honestly, don't really want to talk about that kind of stuff. Just want to post these videos, show you guys the fights, and get on with it. If you guys really care about what the score of the wars were, if we won or not, let me know in the comments, and I'll let you guys know. But that's it for me, guys. If you guys enjoyed, hit like, sub if you're new. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.